Hello there. So I'm introducing you to cooking with fish. And the first thing to say about fish is that they are renowned as being brain food. And this is like a really ancient knowledge. People have known this for a very long time. Fish are good for the brain, good nourishment for the brain and the nervous system. So here is a fish, it's called bream. This actually is sea bream. The particular variety is called gilt-head bream, and I get this from my wonderful Cornish fishmongers who turn up once a week in Glastonbury in the Market Cross to sell their fish. So this single fish is £10, which is not cheap. However, this will actually serve me in 3 ways. So what I've done is I've put the oven on to 180 degrees. And unlike with other fish I would do all sorts of things. I would add spices, salt and all the rest of it. But with this particular fish, I've learnt the best thing to do is literally to put it like this in a dish without even oiling it. I'll put it in the oven at 180 degrees. I give about 15 minutes on this side. I'll then turn it over, give it another 10 to 15 minutes on the other side. And what I will do is I will literally take off the bones, and the amount of fish flesh I get from one side is enough for one meal. The bit from the other side I'll put it into the freezer, and that will do for another meal. And the most exciting bit of all is I'll make something that the Jamaicans call fish tea. So the reason why when I ask for this fish done, I ask for them simply to gut it and take off the scales, but to leave the head on. The reason for this is the third thing I'm going to do with this fish is I'm going to make what is called fish tea. That's what the Jamaicans call it. And literally all the bits that a person might otherwise normally throw away all go into a pan, which I put some water, and I'll put some seaweed in there, a little bit of salt, maybe a few spices if I feel like it, and I will bring that liquid to the boil, and I'll boil it for an hour. And then I will literally strain off all the bits. After an hour, a lot of the good value from the skeleton, from the bones, will go into the water. And the other thing I do is I add a teaspoon of cider vinegar. A teaspoon of cider vinegar will mean that I get all the extra minerals out of the bones. So it's rather like making a bone broth, but it's much quicker. 1 hour is enough. We'll get all the nutrients, all the valuable nutrients will come out of all the flesh, out of the skin, out of the bone, into the liquid. Then I will strain the liquid off, and I can either have it then and there as fish tea, or I can freeze it and make use of it at another time. So this 10 quid I just spent on this gilt-head bream will give me 3 meals. 2 solid meals from the flesh, and the third meal from the fish tea. So that's how you turn one fish into 3 meals. All the love to you from the Shaman's Kitchen.